Hey there, welcome back to another video. This time it is yet another DVD and Blu-ray update. And I call this the post-Black Friday edition because this is a update that is comprised of a lot of different titles that I got from different websites during Black Friday sales, and as well as a few other things that I picked up from various other sources. But for the most part, these are a lot of Black Friday stuff. And also another gift by Jonathan Lindsay, who sent me some more Blu-rays, and I'm actually going to start with those. So he sent me a bunch of Christmas-themed Blu-rays, uh, which is really awesome and really cool. So he sent me the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I haven't seen this in a long time. So that's pretty cool to have that on Blu-ray. Home Alone 2, which I'm fine with because um, I really like the first one. The last time I saw this, I wasn't as into it. I'm thinking if I watch this again, I'm probably going to be a little bit more lenient on it this time around. I think I'm going to be like, it's fun, but it's not as good as the first. But it's good to have for the collection because now that Disney owns the rights to Fox films, they'll probably throw this and the first one in the vault pretty soon. So glad to have that on Blu-ray while it's still affordable. Charlie Brown Christmas, the original holiday classic. Speaking of holiday classics, Miracle on 34th Street, the original. I've actually never seen this. I've never seen the original Miracle on 34th Street. And I don't even think I've seen all of the remake. I know of the remake, but I haven't seen the entire film of that version either. And then he also sent me Elf, which I haven't seen in a long time. I remember it being fun. And then he sent me a Blu-ray of Brazil, which is really cool because I actually like this film. This is the theatrical cut. This is the bare bones release. I'm okay with. I have the Criterion release on DVD, so if I want to check out the features and stuff, I could just check them out on the Criterion DVD box set that I have. Because the transfer on this is actually pretty good, but I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to an upgrade if the Criterion Blu-ray release is like a significant upgrade in terms of picture quality, like if it's like a 4K or 2K remaster or something like that. But for right now, I'm fine with this, the original release of Brazil on Blu-ray. So that's really cool. So he also sent me a letter that came with these. I'm gonna kind of do what I've done before with these, where I kind of just skim through some stuff and answer some questions. So he says, hope you enjoy his Christmas gifts. I definitely am going to enjoy these. I mentioned how Brazil is a Christmas movie. It says sometime he'll send me the Criterion release. I'd be totally okay with that, to be honest. Like I said earlier, either way, whatever happens, I'm fine with this, or whatever you want to do. He says I love your rant on Creepshow 3. Thank you. That's one that was a long time coming. So yeah, how many stars do I give Creepshow 3? Honestly, no stars. And may God have mercy on its soul. Did you hear Terminator 6 bombed at the box office? Yep, I did, and I'm not surprised because the franchise is pretty much terminated. He says he can't wait for my RoboCop and Die Hard reviews. He wants to see me do a Terminator marathon or other Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I would like to do that one of these days. When the new Terminator comes out on home video, I'll probably tackle the Terminator franchise. It's still mentioning about whenever I get around to reviewing the 2014 RoboCop or RoboCock, as I like to call it, that I should break the disc. I'm probably just gonna, for safety concerns, I'm just gonna throw it across the room or something. I just don't really want to risk it. I don't have any safety goggles. I don't have any other things like that. I don't want to get like a sliver of RoboCock in my hand as I'm smashing it with a hammer. That's just me personally. Yeah, I no longer have the Heavy Metal, Fire and Ice, Wizards, American Pop reviews because I had a feeling that those were considered animation. So the new rules with YouTube, they might consider that to be for kids. Uh, but other ones I just deleted because I thought the picture quality was awful and I wanted to do new reviews of them. Because I don't consider American Pop or Wizards or what is the other one? Heavy Metal. I don't consider any of those to be Fire and Ice. I don't consider them to be kids movies. So I deleted those a while back because I just thought that I didn't really like the videos. I honestly feel I can do a much better job with reviews of all of them in the future. So that's the main reason why I did that. And he talks about Bohemian Rhapsody and how it's disappointing. Agrees with me in a lot of different aspects of my criticism, which is totally okay, and I agree with you too on how disappointing that movie is. Talks about how Elizabeth Banks is such a bitch when she said men don't like female action characters. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Mentions a bunch of different other female action characters like Tarna or Anne Lewis. So, yeah. And is way more likable than this new GB Losers. Oh, absolutely. Like Anne Lewis is a very likable character. And after watching RoboCop 2, she kicks more ass in that movie than I remember. Like she actually does kick a lot of ass in that film. And she has more scenes in it than I remember. Like I keep thinking that she's barely even in the movie, but she actually has a good amount of screen time. So uh I definitely am remembering things wrong that she's barely in the film because she really isn't. Like she has a lot of scenes and a lot of moments that are legitimately badass. So what about Lee from Critters 2? Yeah. Yeah. I definitely would say that she's badass and she's likable too. Definitely more so than anyone that I saw in the Charlie's Angels trailer. And then he says, I'm going to send you some more stuff next week, which is the jackpot. Wow. Okay. Well, I will definitely be waiting for that. And once again, thank you, Johnathan, for everything, for your kind words, for your support, for all the gifts and everything. All of them mean equal. All of them are equally as important to me. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, week, and a happy holidays. And I hope all of you have a happy holidays as well. So then we have a bunch of random DVDs that I got from Goodwill, Facebook groups, record shop, a thrift store. So we got A Stranger Is Watching on DVD. We got the Angel Collection, the triple feature. I've never seen any of these movies, so I didn't want to spend the $50 or more on the recent Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray box set. So I just went with this DVD set, and I got a good deal on it. I only paid like $5 for it from a Facebook group, and it's in really good shape. And to be honest, for a disc that has 3 movies on it, the picture quality I thought was pretty decent for all 3. So I'm totally fine with just having those on DVD for right now, because I don't even know if I even like them. I don't want to blind buy something that's going to cost me like $50. So we got Bog. I got this for the collection. This DVD is absolute ass because it's just a VHS rip, and it's a pretty low quality VHS rip. I think I find it kind of ironic that it says, not kind of, I find it incredibly ironic that it says digitally remastered. Like, it's not digitally mastered at all. Like, well, I guess they're not lying. They say digitally mastered. They don't say digitally remastered. They say it's digitally mastered. So I guess, I mean, technically that's right, because they did put it on a disc. But anyway, yeah, I've heard a lot of bad things about this movie anyway. I think there's a release that's out there that's in widescreen. I might want to pick that up later, so I can give this fairly bad movie a fair shake, because I have a feeling I can't really give it a fair shake if I watch it on this DVD, because the picture quality is such ass. We got Monsters, the film directed by Gareth Edwards, who did the 2014 Godzilla. This is a 2-disc special edition, so it has some extra features and stuff. I got it as a trade-in for some stuff that I traded into the record shop, so I didn't really pay anything for it. Parasite Eve. This is actually apparently a little hard to find. This is an ADV Films release. They release a lot of anime and stuff like that. Apparently, this is based on a book that ultimately was adapted into a video game. So this is kind of technically related to a video game. Looked kind of interesting to me, and I've never seen it anywhere else, so I decided to pick it up. Parasite Eve. VI, Warsowski. VR, that'd be a whole different movie. This one, I've been curious about because there's Kathleen Turner in it, and I like her. So, yeah, VI Warsowski. I got it for like pretty cheap. Hell or High Water. Heard a lot of good things about this one. Picked it up for a couple bucks at a thrift store. There were some other titles I was interested in getting for $2 each, but some douchebag foot fungus piece of shit decided they were going to steal the discs out of the cases and left them there. So I didn't get them. One of them was CIA Alexa, like the first one with Lorenzo Lamas, and there was a couple others. And I still managed to get a good amount of stuff from the same thrift store, but that was that I hate that shit. Like, they're $2 each. Like, come on. And at this particular thrift store, each purchase has a certain amount of money that goes to the local humane society, and it's a non-profit organization. So you're taking away money that could be donated to the humane society because you're a cheap fucker. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get people like that. It's just, it's so lame. Like just steal fucking DVDs from the thrift store? Like, fuck you. Stop being such a cheapskate and actually, I don't know, pay the money for them. But I still was able to get some titles though, like this, Hell or High Water. It's written by Taylor Sheridan, who has done a lot of stuff that I really like. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to giving that a look sometime. I got a drama, Power of Attorney, with Danny Aiello, who recently passed away. Rest in peace, Danny. I've always liked him as a character actor. I thought he was incredibly underrated. He was really versatile. He could play comedic roles. He could do serious roles. He could be a scumbag. He could be a likable guy. You know, it was just, he was a very versatile actor that I've always enjoyed. I mean, Jacob's Ladder, Hudson Hawk, an episode of Tales from the Dark Side called The Odds. So yeah, this one stars Danny Aiello. It also has Elias Cotiers and Ray Don Chong. Then we have Jetsons, the movie, because, you know, I remember watching it when I was a kid on VHS, so I thought, why not for cheap? Although I hate this cover art. I hate it. I hate this shit so much. It's so fucking lazy. Then I got Boulevard with Robin Williams. I got this because it's for the Robin Williams collection. I think it's the last film that he did. Yeah, the last performance he did before he passed away. And I've heard a lot of things about this in terms of the performance is great, but it's like really depressing. But I still wanted to pick it up for the Robin Williams collection because I love that man, and I still do. I think he was a great guy and a great talent, and he is still sorely missed. He really is. Then I got a DVD of a movie called The Ice Storm. I've heard a lot of good things about this one. This is a drama that has Kevin Kline, Sigourney Weaver, Elijah Wood, Christina Ricci, Tobey Maguire. It's directed by Ang Lee. Takes place in the 70s. Got the infamous box office bomb Havana, because I like Raul Julia. He's in this cast. I believe so. Yeah, he's in it. I'm not super big on Robert Redford, but I've always been curious about watching box office bombs, and this was a really big bomb in the 90s. Havana. It flopped hard. And I got this. It's 8 movies for the Man Cave. I got it because it was $2, and I mainly got it just for Running Delilah. Although there's a couple other ones that sound interesting, but the second disc is scratched, so I'm not really be able to watch those. Amazon's also looks like it might be fun. That was recently released on DVD by Kino Lorber. But Running Delilah is the one I wanted because it has Kim Cattrall in it and Billy Zane. So 8 movies for the Man Cave, which those releases by Mill Creek are always just dumb. I mean, they're just throwing a bunch of random public domain movies in there. Speaking of public domain movies, this is the Rhino release of MST3K, Beginning of the End. So this has the uncut version of the film as well as the Mystery Science Theater 3000 version. I like that about these releases, where you can watch the original version without the commentary, and then also watch the one with the commentary. So, Beginning of the End, Giant Mutant Grasshoppers. Plus, it was like a couple. It was at Goodwill. It wasn't too expensive, so I thought, why not? Now we're getting into the Blu-rays that are from various different places. These 3 are from Vinegar Syndrome. I took part in the Black Friday flash sale and pre-ordered this, Tammy and the T-Rex. This is a lenticular cover. And it's not really showing up on camera. But it's pretty... But yeah, it's not showing up on camera because it's like a 3D sort of effect. But I had heard of this movie. I know it had Denise Richards and Paul Walker, and it was a crazy plot involving Paul Walker. He gets killed or he gets kidnapped, and his brain gets put inside the body of a T-Rex. And I know there was Terry Kaiser in the cast as well. But what really got me really intrigued about this is that there was an R-rated cut that was announced that was like gory as hell. And I was like, I've never heard of an R-rated cut of this movie. And so I knew it was getting a limited theatrical release in some places. So I was hoping that it was going to get a Blu-ray release. And Vinegar Syndrome announced their Blu-ray release, and I pre-ordered it. It's got a lot of features on it. It's got the newly scanned and restored in 4K release of the uncut version. It also has the PG-13 version, which is the only version I knew of until this release on here as well. You have an audio commentary with the director and the producer. You have an interview with the director, Stuart Raffle. You have an interview with Denise Richards. Interview with Sean Whalen. An interview with an actor named George Pilgrim. So, yeah, there's a good amount of features, remastered version of the movie. And Vinegar Syndrome is quickly becoming one of my favorite Blu-ray releasing labels. Like, I really, really like this company. And you have to pay a little bit more for their product, but it's worth it in the end. I mean, they put a lot of effort into these slipcovers, into their releases. I mean, the transfers are absolutely stellar. And, yeah, so that's Tammy and the T-Rex. But since I did take part in the flash pre-order for that, I was able to add 2 more titles during the Black Friday sale to my pre-order. So one of the secret titles that was announced on Black Friday was Spookies. Now, I've reviewed this movie on my channel before. I wasn't really too big on it. I thought it was honestly kind of a bad movie. But I decided to jump on the chance to get this because it's a limited edition with this particular cover art. Also, I mean, that slipcover. But the main reason that sold me on this is not the movie itself, even though it looks amazing. It's remastered in 4K. This film, I've never seen it look this good. And I don't think anyone has ever seen it look this good before. Like, this looks absolutely phenomenal. And the reason why I got it, though, is for 2 feature-length documentaries on this release. So you have one called Twisted Tale, which is about the unmaking of Spookies. So it's a feature-length making of documentary, which is about the making of the film, as well as the unmaking of the movie, because this film has one of the most notorious and fascinating behind-the-scenes stories out there in terms of its production. And so that alone made it a must-own for me. Then you have Vipco, The Untold Story, which is another feature-length documentary on the notorious UK home video label, which is really cool. So there's a documentary on the making of the movie and its crazy production history, and then there's also a documentary about Vipco. And then they have like an Alamo Drafthouse screening introduction, the Hudson Horror Show screening, Q&A, archival locations featurette with an actor from the film, outtakes and Blu-rays. I mean, outtakes, outtakes and bloopers. There's a blooper for you. And yeah, so really looking forward to checking out the documentary. And who knows, maybe I'll like the film in like a so bad it's good way, or find it a time waster when I watch it again. So this is Spookies. And I also got Luther the Geek. Heard a lot of good things about this film. I know it was in the Fangoria book, 101 Most Unheralded Horror Films. And I got an opportunity to get this slipcover, which I honestly really think is really cool. I really like this slipcover. I think it looks pretty badass. So I got the Blu-ray that comes with it that has a remaster print of the film, and it's also in widescreen for the first time ever, and it has some extra features on it, as well as the old legacy features from the Trauma DVD, which I traded in recently for a few other things. So yeah, that's the releases from Vinegar Syndrome. I got the Big Trouble in Little China Blu-ray from Scream Factory, because it had an interview with Dennis Dunn as well as a few other things. And it also ported over the features from the Arrow Video release. I'm going to keep my Arrow Video Blu-ray, though, because it's a steelbook. And it's honestly still really cool looking, so I'm going to keep that. But still glad to have this because it's not region locked. I got The Monster. This was a part of a lot that I got from a Facebook group. This is a film I've been curious about. It's from Brian Bertino, who directed The Strangers, I think. And I remember seeing the trailer, and it looked like it might be a decent film. It has a practical monster in it. So, yeah, glad to have this on Blu-ray. Gonna give that a watch sometime. I like creature features. Then I got some MVD home video releases. So here we have Black Eagle with Van Damme for the Van Damme collection. The film is not very good, but I got it for the Van Damme collection. Plus it has interview with Sho Kosugi, some extra features and stuff like that. So I got it for that alone. Plus it was really cheap. During Black Friday, MVD had a really considerable sale. So it was only like $9. And so I also picked up Lionheart because I really like this movie. I think it's a great film. Plus it has a bunch of different features on it. And this is the version with the corrected audio, so I checked it out. The audio is fine. So I'm glad I got that. And then I got Double Impact for the Van Damme collection. This also has a bunch of features and stuff like that. Feature-length retrospectives with interviews of Van Damme. So did Lionheart also has some interviews of Van Damme, which I'm really looking forward to hearing those. And then I got Showdown for the collection with Billy Blanks, and there's also some features on there as well. Oh, and I also got Double Dragon, because I grew up with this movie, and this has like a feature-length documentary on it, so which has interviews of Scott Wolf and Mark Dacascos. So yeah, I want to check this. I wanted to get this down the road anyway, just for that alone. So yeah, and honestly, I think if I watch this again, I'm gonna have some fun with it as a guilty pleasure, and there's gonna be like nostalgic sort of vibes. But who knows? It might be just absolute garbage, and I'll be like, no, this is terrible. But I'm curious to check it out on Blu-ray, because I've never seen this film in high definition. I've only seen it on VHS, really. And then got My Samurai. I think I mentioned this before, but here we go. There's My Samurai for the MVD collection. This one I got from Amazon warehouse. These ones, though, I got from the MVD sale. And I communicated with MVD directly through their Facebook page, and things went really well. I talked to them about the Lionheart Blu-ray. I was like, is there anything that I can look for that tells me whether or not this is the corrected version or not? And they were very respectful and said, oh, no, you just need to check it out for yourself. And then I asked them about the split-second release, and they told me that it's going to be coming in 2020. So keep an eye out for that. And I asked them about Rutger Hauer, and they were like, well, we tried to get him, but apparently he wasn't doing very well in terms of his health, and that's the reason why they weren't able to get Rutger Hauer. So it's not like MVD like sat in their hands and didn't try to get Rutger at all. So still, the film should have been on Blu-ray earlier by a different company and had interviews with Rutger beforehand. But you know, what happens is what happens. So not gonna dwell on the past, but it does suck though. They're releasing ICU. It's gonna come out, I think, in what is it, April or something, or some like March, or it's coming out sometime in 2020, and they are going to port over the features from the previous release, but they're also going to have a director's cut of the film, which I'm curious about seeing. So we got the History of the World Part 1 on Blu-ray, because I actually really like this film. It's one of my favorite Mel Brooks films. So I wanted to pick it up on Blu-ray. I need to pick up Young Frankenstein on Blu-ray as well, and Robin Hood Prince of... not Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, Robin Hood Men in Tights, because I only have those on DVD. I would like to get those on Blu-ray. I have Spaceballs and History of the World Part 1 on Blu-ray. Blazing Saddles would be nice too, because I only have that on DVD. Picked up some Arrow Video Blu-rays from a Facebook seller, and these were insanely low priced. I got these both for $8 each. So I only paid $16 shipped for both of these. So we got the out of print, expensive 3-disc set of Evil Ed. I saw the trailer for this. This honestly looks like a really fun movie. Like, it looks like a love letter to horror filmmaking and everything. Like, I honestly am looking forward to this. Yeah, like a love letter to splatter films of the 80s. Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this out sometime. A lot of practical effects too for a low budget. And then I got Madhouse. I have this on DVD, but I didn't have the Blu-ray, and it's an Arrow Video release that I didn't have. And for $8, I was like, sure, why not? So yeah, that was a really good deal, especially for Evil Ed, because that's out of print. They're doing a new release of that, but I'm fine with this. I mean, I paid $8. I mean, this has like all 3 discs, and it's region free. So another sale that I took part in was the Kino Lorber sale, which is actually still going on. I might get a few more things from that sale when I get paid with my next paycheck. But for right now, these are the ones I really wanted the most. So I got Baby Blood from Kino Lorber. excuse me, I got My Boyfriend's Back, which this one I really wanted because I'm a big fan of this movie. And this is a legitimate special edition. It has a commentary with the director, a couple actors. It's got an interview with Andrew Laurie, who is the star of the film, interview with the director, an interview with the composer, interview with Austin Pendleton. It would have been nice to have had an interview with Tracy Lynn, Tracy Lind, but I mean, this is still better than nothing. This is more features than I thought this film was ever going to get. So, yeah, My Boyfriend's Back. I'm glad I waited on getting it on Blu-ray. I'm glad I waited till Kino Lorber did their release instead of buying the Mill Creek release, because the Mill Creek release was bare bones. Got Nightmare Beach. And I also got Parasite. This one actually has a lot of features on it. So it's remastered in 4K. It has, from the inside out, interviews with the writers. Bunch of different interviews combined into a documentary about filming the movie. It has interviews with the director Charles Band, the co-writer, the production manager, the art director, the makeup department head. Interview with Richard Band about the score. Interview with the creature designer. Commentary track with the screenwriter. 2 TV spots, bunch of different other stuff. Has the 3D version of the movie, but I can't really make that work because I don't have a 3D TV. But I've always been curious about this one, and for the collection, definitely. And it was on sale. It was a good deal. I got all of these for like $56 shipped, which is a crazy good deal for all of these. Then I also got Trilogy of Terror 2, because I have the first one. I thought, why not get the second one? It's remastered in HD. It's got an interview with Lisette Anthony, commentary with the film historian, little featurette about the creature effects with the creature effects guys. So yeah, Trilogy of Terror 2. So that's my MVD haul. And the rest of these are from various different places. Got Glory, because I did not have the film on Blu-ray, and decided to get this release because it's remastered in 4K, and it legitimately looks phenomenal. Mr. Nice, Rice Effens. I got it because I like the concept, based on a true story. Took place in a time period that I always personally find visually interesting. And yeah, it looked like it might be a fun biopic. So Mr. Nice. Speaking of based on a true story, got my hands on the 2-disc correct director's cuts of Zodiac. Really glad to have this because I love this film. Great movie. My favorite David Fincher film. And then I also got, because I grew up watching this on VHS and I've always wanted to get this on Blu-ray. Because I have it on DVD in a multi-pack, but I wanted to get the Blu-ray because it actually has an interviews with Dirk Benedict and Heather Menzies. Plus, it's remastered. Ninja 3: The Domination. It came with a multi-pack with Zombie High and Phobia. I might have shown these already, but just in case I didn't, this has a 4K scan of the film. It also has a bunch of features, including the new features that were for this particular release. I mean, I remember this movie being fucking atrocious, but for the collection, why not? Plus, it has some features that I think would be interesting. We got Zombie High, Virginia Madsen. Looked like it might be a decent horror flick. And then I also got Phobia, which I'm really curious about this one. Because for the longest time, it was only available on VHS, and there was no DVD, or you couldn't see it in widescreen. So that is it, folks. That's it for this DVD and Blu-ray update. Hope you enjoyed it, and as always, I will see you later. See ya.